Mr. Jane? Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is the election of the chair and the vice chair. So new session, is that what you call it? So we are going to vote. Do we have a motion for chair? In favor of Teresa Escoto being chair? Aye. Do you accept? Yes. All right, so Teresa Escoto is our chair. Next, do we have a motion for vice chair? I'm going to make a motion myself for Ms. Angela McLean to be our vice chair. Do we have a second? Okay, so we have a new chair and a new vice chair. Do you want to flip flop or you want to sit where you're at? What do you want to do? MAC members, Angela McLean is here. Yvonne Delgado is not here. Diane Mendez is here, and Teresa Escoto is here. And so we have, how many more positions do we have open and available? So we have one member.
One member, one alternate.
Okay, so that is open right now at the clerk of the board?
Correct. And we also have that on our social media, so please go ahead and click on the link, and it'll either take you to the online application where you select the drop-down menu. We will go ahead and get those to our office to then conduct interviews and have an appointee for next MAC meeting.
Okay, so the main requirements are you have to live in Bloomington,
Living in Bloomington,
love your community, and want to serve your community for absolutely no pay because it is a volunteer position.
yeah. And then make sure to have the availability on the required dates, which we do have posted on the same page as our agendas are.
Very good. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So next we have agency staff reports. So we're going to start from the top. Supervisor Baca's office, do you have a report? I mean, you have to have very tough skin.
Testing. Good evening, MAC members and community members. My name is Jessica Andalon. I am the Constituent Services Representative for Supervisor Joe Baca Jr. Thank you all for being here this evening, and welcome back, Bloomington MAC members. We now have started our new term with the new MAC, so I know we don't have our other members here, but we'll make sure to welcome them when they get here as well for next meeting. Hopefully. I do want to just take a quick moment within our time to introduce Ulysses Nera with the Office of Assemblymember Garcia to give an update, and then I'll go ahead and follow up with the continuation of mine if that's okay.
Hi, good evening. Thank you, Jessica. Good evening, MAC members and new chair. Congratulations. My name is Ulysses Nera, Yuli for short. I am a field representative for Assemblymember Robert Garcia, newly elected to the legislature. I just wanted to come and introduce myself. I know that we have the tiniest piece of Bloomington in our district, but I want to make sure. I want y'all to know that it is very important to us. Bloomington is important to the region, and we need to make sure that it is well represented, as it is with Supervisor Baca, now Chair Baca, but that our office is also trying to take care of y'all as much as possible. I wanted to announce some of his committee assignments that were assigned a few weeks ago. He's on the Communication and Conveyance Committee, which is a newer committee that deals with social media, public employment and retirement. So for folks who are employed with the state, how they operate. He's on the Education Committee, which is really important to him because he is a long-time career educator. He's been a teacher and an assistant principal for almost 28 years. He's on the Natural Resources Committee, so ensuring that the environment here in our district is clean and sustainable, and then revenue and taxation. I also wanted to talk about a few bills that he endorsed authored or co-authored. One is AB 753, which is addressing childcare staffing crisis. This will give providers, so any daycares, preschools, Head Starts that are already licensed, the ability to hire within their requirements new staff that will be childcare providers and give them up to 2 years, those new employees up to 2 years to get fully licensed. This will encourage more folks to enter that field and in the early childhood stages to be able to provide childcare in a structured setting. Further, AB 843 is a language access program. This ensures that any insurance agencies, whether it be healthcare or otherwise, provide accessible language in languages other than English. AB 960 is a dementia patient visitation bill, which would allow family or friend caregivers to visit patients with Alzheimer's or dementia beyond the regular visiting hours. And then finally, AB 1410, public utilities, which pretty much has to deal with public utilities opt-in. So as soon as somebody signs up for water, gas, electricity, whatever, with their new email, that they are automatically opted into any alerts. So I know that PSPS was a huge deal here in Bloomington and in other parts of the district and the county. And a lot of folks didn't know that these planned shutoffs were scheduled because they weren't they didn't have their information updated. So making sure that there are some regulations to ensure that folks are updated and they have the most current information. Further and lastly, we have two upcoming events. March 21st, we have our open house from 4 to 6 in Rancho Cucamonga. I brought some flyers. I'll leave them at the table if anybody's interested. And then we have you're the first to know, our Veterans Resource Fair coming up in April, which will be at the Rancho Cucamonga Sports Complex. I don't have any literature for that yet, but I will ensure that you get it so that you can help us spread the word to our veterans. I will leave cards with all of you. April 12th for the Veterans Resource Fair. You should all get an e-alert for that emailed to you, but I'll give you my card and I will make sure that I stay in contact with the Bloomington MAC. That is it for me. Thank you so much. I'm gonna give you my card and then take a seat.
Much. Did you want to finish up? Yeah.
Okay, and then to finish up our updates, so we do want to go ahead and invite everybody to our Dreamfield ribbon cutting that'll be taking place on March 14th. I know Little League opening ceremonies will also be taking place. All the MAC members, all the community members, we do invite you to come out, see the beautiful investment here at Kessler. Well, in the community of Bloomington, but at Kessler. That'll be on March 14th, 6 p.m. next Friday. We also have a deputy meet and greet at Bloomington Grove Community Center, which is right here behind this community center. It's going to be taking place on Monday, March 17th from 6 to 7 p.m. And we just want the community to be able to be involved and have a conversation with our deputies. I know that they attend the meeting, but on a separate location. They now have a assigned spot at the Bloomington Grove, so making sure that you know where you might be able to find them occasionally. So please come out, join us for that meet and greet. We do have our Earth Day on April 26th, Saturday, April 26th from 8 to 12. We are looking for volunteers, so please feel free to let us know. We'll be sending over the flyer electronically. We'll be having more copies as of next month, but in the meantime, please feel free to volunteer or sign up. And then lastly, we do want to let you know we have presentations and agendas in Spanish translated in the back for anybody that may need them. So any questions or anything you need? Okay. Mm-hmm. Yes, it'll be a cleanup and a dump day community event. Yes, and we'll bring flyers for you to have. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have a state legislature?
I actually have a little surprise. On behalf of Supervisor Joe Baca Jr., we would like to thank Diane for her time as a Bloomington MAC chair uh, and have a little plaque for you. So thank you. And now I'm really done. Thank you.
It's hard not to be emotional right now. You guys haven't seen me too much because family issues, and my dad, veteran, and he did pass the beginning of January. So it's been up and down, but the Veterans Resource Fair, that's great. The veterans resources have been amazing, just helping my mom walk through all of the veteran services and everything available to her after his passing. So that's been pretty cool. And he has a wonderful final resting place over at the National Cemetery. And I mean, within 2 weeks, they had his headstone there. It's absolutely beautiful. So next we have, so no state legislative update or that. Okay. Okay. So CHP. Do we have CHP to give an update?
I'm sorry, yes.
Thank you.
I'm trying to make connections with you people.
No, it's okay. Thank you.
We try to do many things at once. Our deepest condolences to you. So sorry for your loss. Officer Ivan Sandoval with the California Highway Patrol this month. We continue enforcing commercial enforcement. As you know, the rain has coming down. People tend to lose their minds for whatever reason when we see one drop of rain. Slow down. Please be cognizant of the people around you. We definitely don't want to keep these guys busy any more than they have to be. We always say, like, if you want to come join us, please, you guys are our biggest supporters. If you know anybody that wants to become a first responder, I know that we are hiring. I know they're hiring. I know the fire department. I know the sheriffs are hiring. So come bring anybody. It's a great, rewarding career. And we want to just bring awareness to the past because it does give back, and we give back to our communities. Other than that, in regards to traffic collisions, there was nothing notable during the time. Supervisor Joe Baca did reach out to me directly, and he said he would want a DUI checkpoint in the summer. That's something that we had talked about in the past that we have on the books that we would like to do in your guys' area. Commercial enforcement, like I said, continues. I have some tentative training for commercial enforcement in May so that I can come out and be a part of the enforcement as well to ensure that when we go back, I can pretty much tell you, hey, this is what transpired, this is what we're doing, and I'm out there with the ground with my partners. Other than that, like I said, be safe. No drinking and driving. We continue to see fatalities due to things that are 100% preventable. No texting and driving. Slow down the speed, and then hopefully we get some more awareness to this. I know that as time goes, that we get a little bit less people, and then as the summer traffic increases, we get more people through the parks and stuff like that. So just continue sharing our social media. I know the county does a great job of promoting their events. We appreciate everything you guys do for the community, and we'll continue supporting you in anything you need. Do you still have the non-emergency number for CHP if you need it? And if not, let's get you that information. IPS, that's what I was looking at. Institute for Public Strategies. We partnered up with them, Cal State San Bernardino Police. On April 26th, they're going to do a national drug take-back day at their campus, and it's going to be from 8 to 2 p.m., and that's going to be in parking lot D. So if you want to share that with your constituents as well, we want to bring awareness to that, because drugs in the wrong hands of any person can lead to some type of DUI, anything that can impair you. And then the contact for that non-CHP, it is 909-428-4644. 5400. And if you guys want my direct cell phone number, which you can call me at any time, 916-634-9627. And that's the bat line. So you're very welcome. Any questions? I don't. That's my state number. Gary has my personal cell phone number. He has my personal cell phone number. That one, yeah, we answer all the time. If I don't, like I said, that's the state number. But if D is in David.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What else?
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you guys. Congratulations. I got a new boss. Yeah, that's what we say. Yeah. Until someone's yelling in my ear and it's my boss. Anything else? Okay. We're having a conversation, just her.
On Cedar. So we know there's a lot of traffic because of the,
Okay.
I've seen cutting other people off and they'll shove their way through. It's crazy. So I don't go that way, but when I,
Do you not see the lanes anymore, or they're just
you can
creating
see the
stuff?
lane, they're just creating their own
They're just creating
because
their own?
they don't want to wait.
Are they still marked, the
Yeah.
lanes? Okay,
Yeah.
we'll just double check it. Is there anybody
No
from the
right-
project here today?
It's marked no
Nobody?
right turn.
Yeah, it's marked no right turn.
No right
So
turn.
they'll, yeah.
Okay, we'll look at it, and like I said, if there's something wrong with as far as the markings on the ground and then more signage, and then we'll go from there. We'll try additional enforcement in that
Okay.
area. And if our partners have to hang out for a little bit, then we'll do that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
My only thing is I don't know, because this is probably going to take multiple people to look into this if it's even possible. I'm sure code is predominantly going to be responsible for it, but on Harupa, you know how we're having that project that's kind of sitting vacant right now. There's a ton of dumping directly on Harupa, on the street, more so the corner of Maple and Harupa. And it's like a constant thing. They come, they clean it up, and it's back there the next day. It's consistently tires, loads of tires, majority, but there's been sofas, and I mean, I'm sure Code could tell you, but they're literally, it's like they're just coming and just saying, let's just pull it out of the back of our truck and leave it in the middle of the street. My big concern with that is, one, people are traveling down that street, and at night it is so dark, you can't see. I actually almost hit the pile of tires the other day when I was leaving Kessler. But because right when you know how it has it, I don't know if you remember, like on Harupa, how it has that little turn that goes like that, like just a little bit of an edge. Well, when you do that, then boom, it's like right there, and it was like, whoa, right in the
Okay.
middle of the street. But it's been happening a lot now, a lot.
Have you noticed any physical cars, or have we contacted the businesses in that location? Maybe find some cameras. Maybe sometimes we can do some due diligence and follow up on, like, hey, who's doing the dumping? I know we work closely with our partners, code enforcement and the sheriffs, and we all collaborate to ensure the safety of our public. And especially if we notice something, like we say, if you see something, please give us a call. Sometimes if it's actively happening, give us a call. Obviously, don't try to stop it, because we don't ever know what will transpire. But definitely reach out, definitely let us know, and then we'll try to make contact with the individuals. But most of the time, it's like the aftermath. I'll try to see if that business has cameras. That way we can monitor if it's a habitual dumper there, right? And we can try to investigate it and go from there.
There was only word of it being possibly the actual tire place that is literally like right up the street. It was on Maple, correct?
Oh, so a fender right across the street.
Yes.
Okay.
Someone in our community had called me and said, Angela, all those tires, we saw the guy that, I guess it's a tire shop or truck
Okay.
shop. He was with his forklift and he actually was going and he dumped everything.
What can we do, buddy? We can probably work together. I'm sure we can all work together to figure
Yeah.
something out.
So,
I mean, lately, a lot of tires,
Okay.
and because they're black, you can't see them in the dark until your headlight shines on.
Okay.
And they're just literally like right in the middle of the street. Now, I know on the 12th, they're going to start paving on Harupa. So I don't know if that's going to be any help or not, but that's just my biggest concern right now is that the amount of dumping that's being just thrown literally in the middle of the street when people are driving right there is,
Okay.
I feel
Especially
like,
for
a
everybody
safety.
just leaving the park, and it can be a hazard to everybody coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely see
you
it.
know. And
Okay.
there's a lot of youth that use that street to travel. I almost wish that they would just close Maple and Locust and just leave it closed right now until they're done with everything, because at least they have to come through Harupa, which there's cameras that would catch who's going in and out. And I think that would be a lot easier, but I don't know what that takes to do something like that. But if it's going to be continuing to be a problem, there's definitely something we need to do about that,
Yeah,
because
definitely. Like I said, we'll try to do our due diligence to ensure that, hey, we're monitoring it. If you see something, say something. We'll partner up with the sheriffs and the code enforcement to see if during the evening, if we have some additional enforcement, if we can just monitor the area just to ensure if you see a vehicle that's there, or if they see actively dumping, like just give us a call
Okay.
or reach out to the sheriffs and see if we can make contact with those individuals. Obviously, this is our community. We want to keep it safe, right? It's incredible to even imagine someone across the street dumping in their own community, right?
Mhm.
Kind of demoralizes everything that we do on a day-to-day basis. But we're here to try to help out, mitigate that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
We've been having problems in the waterway, and I had talked to the fire department because they've been sending them off on tires. They've also started dropping them off on our street. But the probation department showed up across our, where I live. They got a ping because somebody lost their plate bracelet. So you might want to also check if
Yeah.
they got on the street.
For sure. I wish we can pinpoint it to that individual and right. And it's just, we'll do a better job. And like I said, we'll continue, but it starts with us as a community raising the awareness. Hey, it starts with us. If we have a business across the street dumping in our own community, hey, we need to make contact with that business and just bring awareness. Hey, we've noticed, we see what's going on. Hey, you got to keep our community clean. If you have to dispose and pay for that, then do your job to do so. Right. But we'll constantly monitor it. Like I said, we're doing our due diligence to ensure the community safety, both with criminal activity and then traffic activity, right? To bosses all over the place, so we try to be everywhere just to ensure everyone's safety. And like I said, it boils down to just bringing awareness to the community. And now this is,
We
right?
have another quick question. Yes.
He gives a much better presentation than I do.
Next, we have code enforcement.
I'm the Bloomington Code Enforcement Officer. Just wanted to share some contact information if you want to contact code enforcement. Our office is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30. We're located at 268 West Hospitality Lane in Suite 300 in San Bernardino. You can call us at 909-884-4056. You can also visit our website, lus.sbcounty.gov, or you can send us an email at codeenforcement@lus.sbcounty.gov. Code enforcement, we address all kinds of different issues for public safety, welfare, property value, zoning ordinances. Send us an email. We'll check it out. We'll investigate it. We also have some other special project issues that we do. So, for instance, the tires. If you see tires dumped, we get out there. We do try to pick them up as anything that's dumped on the roadway, on the street. And graffiti. I was actually seeing a kind of an uptick in graffiti about a month ago. So we've been keeping our contractor very busy. The contractor gets out there and usually and they'll paint over or power wash the graffiti off the walls. Yeah, we're out there. We're working with the CHP, with the sheriffs a lot. We've been busy removing encampments, showing a lot on Cedar Avenue and Valley Boulevard, just trying to stay on the main veins of Bloomington and addressing whatever we see as we're out there. So again, if you see anything, if you 909 884.
Numbers are right there, including code enforcement. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so you were talking about removing encampments. So the ones on the 10 freeway on Cedar, the 10 that are all behind that wall by the storage, is that something that you take care of as well? Because they're all up and down the freeway now.
Yeah, we work with I have a contact with Caltrans
Okay.
because they're the primary for the freeway.
Okay.
But we do work with them, so they kind of give us the permission to do the enforcement. So yeah, we've seen that. So I'll be in contact with them and we'll get those.
Okay, thank you.
Could we have another patrol or whatever around Dollar Tree? Because it was cleaned up, looked great, and it's already back to what it was before.
Yeah, absolutely. You're talking about Maple and Harupa? Yeah. So
Cedar and Harupa, the
Oh,
Dollar
Cedar.
Tree.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
by the Dollar Tree.
Mhm.
Yeah. We will do that. What are you seeing right there?
So they've taken occupancy in the dumpster again. They are living literally in the walkway of Dollar Tree, urinating, leaving a lot of trash. When I went to Dollar Tree, I talked to the manager. She's kind of like, there's not anything I can do at this point anymore. So I think they've kind of given up. I told them, I went and got off the parking lot, and the guy was literally laying across the walkway like this, blankets and pillows, and right in the walkway of Dollar Tree. It smells like urine over there all the time. They're right there, there's like handicap stalls along the side of the building where what's that called? The recycling center is.
Mhm.
They're all like lined up against there again. And then on that other corner of right there on Cedar and Harupa, that that homeless person that keeps going back there, they're back there again too. Right across the street on Cedar and
On the
Harupa.
vacant lot?
On Cedar and Santa Ana, I apologize. On the vacant lot, yeah.
Right, like against the mobile home park. Their wall?
No, directly across from the Dollar Tree parking lot,
Okay.
So where the liquor store is?
Yeah.
right next to the house, the men's home, I guess you could say, for
Oh, okay.
Cedar House, right next there. That lot.
Okay. Yeah. If like I said, if you let us know, we'll be sure to address it. I'll get my team out there tomorrow and we'll take care of that.
Thank you.
No problem.
Very much.
Thank you.
Next, we have Colton Joint Unified School District. Do we have anybody here for that? Okay. Next, we have County Fire.
Good evening, MAC members and community. My name is Tony Villarino. I'm a battalion chief here at San Diego County Fire, a new battalion chief. This is like my fourth shift, so I'm stationed here in Fontana. I got some stats for you for Station 76 for the month of February. They ran a total of 130 calls, 15 were fires, 96 were EMS, 11 were traffic collisions, and we had 8 public service or other calls. Other news with 76, I'm sure you guys saw the new fence that's around it. It's totally done, it's secure, so that project's completed. Your Bloomington is getting a brand new fire engine. It was just inspected. Final inspection was 2 weeks ago. 2 of our guys went back there and inspected it. It's all good to go. So it's going to be here in probably 2 or 3 weeks. And then once it gets here, it has to go to our shop and get outfitted. So it takes a little while. So probably 3 to 4 months before it's actually on the floor at the station. But it's brand new and it's going to be beautiful. As far as the new station, it's kind of in the design stage right now. They don't really have a timeline on the new station. The plan is to use the existing lot where 76 is now and build a new station back there. Because even now with the new engine, we don't even know if it's going to fit into the existing station. So we have a backup plan for that. We have some reserve engines that we just purchased. They're brand spanking new. And we might have to use one of those until the new station is built. or we have some accommodations to hold that engine. Let's see here. New news with County Fire is we have a tower that just is finishing, and they're going to be hitting the floor beginning in July. So we'll have like 35 new employees. So we're really, as far as staffing goes, we're really doing well. Like on the last two big fires we had, the line fire and the Eaton fire, or not the Eaton fire, I'm sorry, the bridge fire, we ran out of equipment. We had too many personnel. So the good thing about our department is when we have a big incident, even if we had a big incident here in Bloomington today, we got, firefighters from all over that live near, they come in off duty. And that's what happened during those two fires. So another thing that county did, the board just approved purchasing 10 brand new reserve engines. So they're not going to be frontline, they're going to be brand new, and they're just there for if an engine breaks down or if there's a big incident, we can staff them up with firefighters that are not on duty, right? So from home. So we're thinking forward and preparing for, bigger incidents like we just had like in Los Angeles. So, and on that note, I'd like to talk to the community and the MAC members as well as about some programs that we have that I feel like they're very underutilized. And one's called the RAP program. And what it is, it's the Residential Assessment Program. So what you do, you would call Station 76 and you ask them that you want to get a home assessment. They're going to come to your house. They're going to make an appointment. They come to your house. They're going to assess your home for, they're going to give it a triage for a wildland fire. And they're going to show you things that you can improve to protect yourself from the wildland fire. So it's called hardening your home. So as far as like setbacks or maybe open eaves, whatever it is, whatever is showing that you need improvement on, they'll give you an assessment and they're going to show you where you can improve that. And we offer that. It's free. All our stations offer it. So if you guys are interested in that, you would call 76, which if you want the phone number, it is 909-877-2213. And then another program that we have with our community risk reduction is called the TENS program. And if you go onto our website, you can register for this. And what it does is you put your phone number in, and even if you have a landline, it'll still use a landline. You put your address in, and then if there's evacuations, if there's an earthquake, if there's flood, anything that you need to know, it's going to text your phone. And if you one of those people that don't have a cell phone, you have a landline, it'll call your home. And it'll be a recorded message on where the evacuations are, where the dangers are. So that's just some of our community risk reduction stuff that I think is kind of underutilized and people don't know about it. There's other programs as well. If you go to sbcfire.org and you look up community risk reduction, you'll have these that I just listed and others as well that are really good. Other than that, that's pretty much it as far as the update on 76. And what County Fire is doing. You guys have any questions?
Thank you about that RAP program.
Yeah.
I had no clue about it.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's super
Thank
cool.
you.
It's super cool. Like I said, it's underutilized. People rarely call the station to ask for it. So I try everywhere I go, try to tell people about it. It's free. And the crew will come out to your house. You get to meet the firefighters, and then they can help you with hardening your home for wildland fires. Yeah.
One about your RAP program, because I know people will ask me questions when
Yes.
I post something. Is there a possibility that if they come out and they do something or they say something, that there's a cost incurred, a
Nope.
fine,
Zero.
anything like that?
Zero.
Okay.
Zero possibility. It's
Okay.
just there to protect you. It has nothing to do with an inspection. Even if there's obviously if you had a blatant violation of doing something wild, but they're there to help you. They're help to inform you to protect your home from wildfires.
Okay. And then my other thing is, if you happen at your station to have any flyers that you can bring in when you guys come
For sure.
down, it would be great because we can make copies and pass them out
Okay.
to residents
Yeah.
as well.
Absolutely.
And then we post a lot of stuff on social media. So that would be nice too.
One more thing, we have Daniel Arias with us. He's the Fire Explorer Advisor for Fontana. So if anyone is interested in becoming a Fire Explorer,
Nice.
contact him. He'll be here. You can let him know, and he'll give you all the information you need if anyone wants to explore. So other than that,
I'm sorry, what was your name? Daniel Arias. Okay. Thank you. Important program. Thank you.
thank you guys.
And in the meantime, if we can also just request to get those flyers, perhaps a digital copy, and would be happy to also share with the community and have them printed for you guys and then send them to you guys ahead of time. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, we have the Sheriff's Department. Oh,
Yeah, they're
sorry.
gonna go last.
Special Districts. And I apologize, but I drank too much water, so I'm going to have to run.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Shout out to the sheriff, fire, and code enforcement. They have really hard jobs, and
Absolutely.
they're always really hard to follow. And I can't do what I do without them being awesome. And we appreciate their continued support in Bloomington and in the county of San Bernardino. So thank you to those guys. I have all exciting news. Linden parking lot has new lights, so it'll be brighter on that side when it opens back up on March 15th. The basketball court has new lights, so basically the whole southeast end of the park will be a lot more bright at night, so it won't be as desirable for vagrants to hang out and people to be doing things they shouldn't be. So the large picnic shelter there, which has probably been most people that come to our park probably go like that when they see it. It's got new beautiful lights. It's got new beautiful tables. It's got a new beautiful barbecue. We're going to do something with that floor. Something with it, but it's starting to look really sharp, and we're really proud of it. And thank you to the supervisor for helping us get there with that. He's been there the whole way. So a couple exciting programs coming up. We have senior movie afternoon on March 3rd. We'll be showing Selena. They have a lunch here that day, the nutrition program, and then we'll be showing like a senior movie and having popcorn stand and ice cream. So that'll be super cute for the seniors and should be a good little event for them.
Wait, March 3rd? We already passed that.
Sorry. What
Is
is that?
that, did that already happen or?
No, it has not happened.
Okay.
March 26th, sorry.
Okay.
Thank you. Good catch.
Mhm.
We'll have the Easter Bunny will be coming to Ayala Park on April 5th. That's a Saturday. We have flyers in the office for the times for the Easter egg hunt, and there'll be opportunities to get to dodge the malls and come here and get a picture with the Easter Bunny. And then as Jessica mentioned, we have Earth Day coming up on the 26th of April. Yes, from 8 to noon at the location behind the pilot. Is that still correct, Jessica? Yes, okay. And then at Kessler Park on the same day will be Community Dump Day. So you'll be able to access the west end of the arena, and there'll be many dumpsters that code enforcement will have out there for legal dumping. Another cute one that we're partnering with West Valley Water. They're doing a Mother's Day succulent class, learn how to work with succulent plants and keep them healthy, and that'll also be here at Ayala Park. We have a flyer in the back for that one. We're now taking registrations for our little micro soccer program. It's for ages 4 to 7 years old. It's really for beginners to learn how to get excited and be on a team and run around, and it's cute. It's a lot of fun. So this will be our 3rd year of doing it, and it's here at Ayala Park. For the public, we appreciate your patience here at Ayala. We have a lot of construction going on right now with the splash pad. The good news is we're getting a splash pad and it's awesome, and we're looking at Memorial Day for opening. The bad news is it's a little hard getting around here right now, and I know that it's exciting at the same time, but also hard to deal with some of the park being not in use. So we'll look to get that excited to get to that day, and can't wait. It's going to be a real fun day here. And then lastly, which everyone's touched on, which I am super excited about, is Friday, May 14th, Bloomington Little League opening ceremonies and the grand opening of the new Kessler Park Dream Field.
March 14th.
March 14th. What did I say?
Me.
Sorry. March 14th. So that'll be at 6 o'clock. It's going to be a great time and a huge monumental night for Bloomington. So it's not really hiding from anybody. If you go down to the park, you can get real good eyes on it. It's gorgeous, and I can't wait to see little kids playing on it. It's amazing. So, and it's when you work with these things and you start in the design stage and you get to the point to where we've gotten now and see and you go, wow, it's even better than you can imagine. I can't say enough good things about it. It's a huge win for the community, for Bloomington Little League, and for us, the Park District. So we're super excited about it. So with that, any questions?
Nope, you got it.
Okay.
The sheriff's department and the fire department there next Friday.
Yes.
That was a major hint, by the way.
Just talk to the chief. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I do have one more. I'm sorry. Kite Day. We had Kite Day. Actually, I have two more. We have Kite Day. We had Kite Day earlier in February, and that was awesome. It was the third one we'd done, and we had great weather. The event couldn't have ran better, and we had over 170 children there that registered and flew kites. So it was really awesome. That turned into a great event. And to piggyback off what you said, we can't do it without the fire department bringing their fire truck, without the sheriff being there, and all the other county partners that were there. It was an awesome day. It was really cool. And we followed that up just this past Saturday. The Ontario Empire Strikers, they play at the Toyota Arena, the professional soccer club. They came out last Saturday and they did a free youth soccer camp from 5 to 13 years old. And we had 100 children register for that. And that was super cute. And it was a really cool day. And they got free tickets to go to the game the following day at Toyota Arena. So I don't know how many got to take advantage of that, but it was a great event for the youth, and it didn't hit the parents' pocketbook. So that's good. So
That's always nice.
yep. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too. And next we have West Valley Water District.
Gentlemen, we'll keep it brief because we do have a presentation in a little bit, but I did want to just let everybody know that at our last board meeting, Supervisor Baca was actually on hand to share with us a $1.5 million support for our Bloomington Alleyway project, which you'll have a presentation from staff tonight about. So we just want to once again thank the supervisor for his wonderful support for the community and for this wonderful project. And we're just so very happy about that. And I'm happy it's raining because rain is good for us. But otherwise, happy to answer any questions if you have any, but I'll kind of defer to the staff about the project. Okay, thank you.
So last but certainly not least, we have the Sheriff's Department going to give a presentation as well. Okay. Oh, so you're not going to do the agency staff report. You're going to wait till got it. See, that's why you're chair now. Okay, we're going to move on over to informational presentations. So the Bloomington Roadwork Improvement Project. They are last. Hello.
Hi, I'm with the Bloomington Roadwork Project. I'm Bob. I'm here every month, so you probably recognize me. Currently, Locust is closed from Europa to Armstrong, which is about 7th Street. We're putting in the storm drain. Right now, we have the water and sewer is already installed. And late this month, we'll have the permit for the road, which we can't work on until the storm drain gets installed. So the road is that reopening is probably going to be late summer around September. And that'll open up Locust from Europa to 11th. Then we're going to close Armstrong and do the same thing, going down Armstrong. We also have all the road closures and reroutes in place, and that hasn't seemed to be an issue. The other thing we're working on is the 11th Street partial closure. That's going to get a sewer line put in there as well. And we're going to start that in, let's see, May. And so we're picking up the permit actually this month on that sewer line. And so that, and then the last thing we're as part of this road work project is Linden Avenue, because there's a sewer line that goes all the way up Linden to practically hit Rialto. And that's just going to be a partial closure. So you can still take that street. You might be inconvenienced. And we also talk to the school. So whenever we go past the school, you know, we're going to coordinate with them to do it at their convenience, whether it's summer, a spring break, a holiday, whatever it is, we'll deal with the school. So that's basically the update. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, thank you.
Very much. Next, we have the 2024 year-end Bloomington, oh, no, Sheriff's last. West Valley Water District Bloomington Alleyway Project. Linda, how do you pronounce your last name? Jadeski. Linda Jadeski, thank you.
So good evening, everyone. My name is Linda Jadeski, and I am the Assistant General Manager at West Valley Water District. And I would like to thank the council for giving us the opportunity to give you some information on a project that we are embarking on. I have a short presentation for you. Thank you.
So we have the hard copies being passed out right now in case anybody would like to see it.
And we also have some poster boards at the back. If anyone has any questions after the presentation, we'd be more than happy to answer those.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Linda. You can go ahead and get started.
Okay.
Thank you. Issues, so that's why we went ahead and passed out the hard copies right
Okay,
now.
no problems. So the project that I wanted to provide an update on is the Bloomington Alleyway project. It's basically a water line replacement project, and it's a multi-phase, multi-year project. And it covers the area from Harupa south down to 7th and from Locust to Cedar. So it's quite a large area. And the homes in that area were built many years ago. And back when they were built, the water lines were constructed in alleyways behind the homes. Over the years, fences, buildings, other structures have been constructed within those alleyways, which limits our ability to repair leaks, locate shutoff valves, read meters, just perform any sort of maintenance. And it potentially could hamper emergency response. So those are some of the reasons why we're doing this multi-year project. As I said, we have been doing this in phases. We have 5 phases, 3 of which have been constructed already. For those of you who have the map, The area in yellow has been constructed. Phase 1 and Phase 2 were constructed in 2014 and 2015. Phase 3A was constructed in 2020. There are 2 remaining phases, Phase 3B, which we're trying to secure funding for, and Phase 3, which we are happy to say that we have secured funding for. As our president of the board has mentioned, the county has been a great partner with us on this project, and there will be funding a portion of the project with us. Phase 3C will be on 8th Street between Locust and Cedar, and will be starting sometime this summer. We don't know the exact date yet because we still have to bid out the project, award a contract, and once we get more information, we will be reaching out to the community and our customers to let them know more information and more details. So the benefits of the project. Well, one of the benefits will improve water service reliability in the area and increase system circulation, which means we'll be able to improve or increase fire flow in the area and emergency response capabilities. We'll be upgrading the water line area to current standards that we have and abandoning those aged old water lines in the backyards, in the alleyways. We won't be removing them, so we won't be disrupting any of the customers in the area. We'll be abandoning it in place, and we'll be disconnecting it from our service lines. This project will support the county's vision and promote health, safety, and social service needs for the county and its residents. And in more detail, the project includes 44 feet of 8-inch pipeline, 4,000 feet of 24-inch pipeline, new system valves and appurtenances, and 11 new fire hydrants. So as I mentioned, for upgrading to new standards, those fire hydrants will be equipped with breakaway spools and a check valve, so that in the event the fire hydrant is impacted some way and it's sheared off, we won't be having that geyser. That check valve is going to close so that we don't have water in the streets or flooding of any residents. We'll also be replacing 105 new service laterals. And what that is we'll be connecting, the new water line will be in the street right of way, which means in the paved area in front of the homes. We'll be connecting from that pipeline to a new meter box and a new meter, and then that'll be connected to the home. The connection that's currently there at the back will be disconnected, and all of that is part of the project, and there's no cost to any of the residents. As I mentioned, the project partners, the cost for this project is $3.8 million, or that's the estimate at current time, and West Valley will be funding 60% or $2.3 million, and the county, with the obviously Supervisor Baca's discretionary funds, will be funding 40% or $1.52 million. So we would like to thank again Supervisor Baca and his office for working with us on this project, and we're very excited about getting it started. And that's all I have, unless you have any questions.
Much, very informative. That was great.
Okay, you're welcome. And we can come back and give you an update as the project progresses. Okay.
Oh, Teresa has a question. Oh.
When we were talking about hydrants, that I really actually would like to see if maybe we can find out some answers to, maybe in your next time you come up. Fire hydrants, like how often are they inspected? And if they're marked when they're not usable, like there's no water to them? I only ask because recently we had somebody that we knew who, it was not here in our county, but was the victim of a fire and had an active fire hydrant, that what they thought outside of her residence, and unfortunately it was not active. There was no water to it. And so, oh, maybe that's something you can answer. So I was just thinking, man, I don't think I ever thought about something like that in the future. Like, well, you see a hydrant and I don't know, does it work? Does it not work? I don't know if there's water or not. And unfortunately, they lost their house and one of their children. So like, I'd want to make sure that in my community that, our residents have awareness of that, there's no water in that hydrant, or, just something like that.
So all of our water hydrants have water in them. If for any reason where one is down for maintenance, it will be bagged. But any other time, our fire hydrants are live, ready to fight a fire.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that. Appreciate that.
It's for the city, it's for the homes that are down there.
Go ahead.
When Montana Water.
Yes.
We were not notified when they were going to turn the water. So there were several homes where our water meters blew out because we didn't have the special water pressure valve. Are you going to notify the neighbors put down there that
They did say that.
by replacing that, or did the homeowner have to replace that? To add that so they don't get pipes that are blown out.
Right, so we are West Valley Water District, not Fontana Water District. The water pressure to the home is not going to change as a result of this project. So if the customers will see the same pressure after the project that they are seeing today.
That's what we were told about, but our water pipes blew out.
I'm not sure what they did, so ours will be the same pressure.
They don't let them know the date that will be changed over.
Oh, absolutely. We'll be in contact. We'll give everybody general information of when the project's starting, and when we do a particular home, we'll be coordinating with that homeowner on when the work will be done.
Understandable. Thank you, Roxanne. And, again, they'll be in contact with the residents. We do have a really good partnership with West Valley to know that, we're very confident that you guys will notify the residents. They're always here to answer questions every month. So, if someone gets a letter and they want to come down, they know they can talk to them here, or, reach out and you guys will contact them. And then, if the need arises and something happens along that transition, then I guess we can address it at that time.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Now we have the much anticipated sheriff's presentation.
Bless you.
Hello, council and members of the public. My name is Scott Teese. I'm a lieutenant of the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department, Fontana Station, and this is Deputy Luis Arroyo. Luis Arroyo is actually going to help us translate a lot of our presentation today for those online that speak Spanish and those in the audience. When we conclude, we'll give the council an opportunity to answer any question or ask any questions, as well as members of the public. So tonight we're going to give you a brief overview of, can you hear me okay? Oh, perfect. That'll work. So tonight we're going to give a brief overview of all of our calls for service and reports that were taken in Bloomington for 2024. Go ahead. Yeah, just the first part.
Hola, buenas tardes. ¿Cómo se llaman? Soy Luis Arroyo, del condado del departamento de San Bernardino. Este es mi lieutenant Scott Teese. Nomás le voy a hacer la presentación de seguridad pública de Bloomington de 2024.
Before we talk about the statistics, I think it's important for us to briefly go over where your police services come from for the Bloomington area. The Bloomington Patrol resources come from the Fontana Station. The Fontana Station is approximately a little over 2 miles from here. It's at the corner of Alder and Arrow. It's right next to the courthouse. We're fortunate there that we've got 35 hardworking deputy sheriffs, many of which have grown up in the area and are familiar with a lot of our our issues. Those 34 deputies, they are responsible for patrolling 129 square miles of county area, which include Fontana, Rialto, Bloomington, San Antonio Heights, Mount Baldy, Rosanna Ranch, and Lytle Creek.
Sobre sus servicios, la estación está localizada en 17780 Air Boulevard en Fontana. Estaba estabilizado en 1941. Tenemos un total de 44 miembros jurados y 8 profesionales, 34 agentes, 4 detectives y 6 sargentos. Cubrimos 129 millas cuadradas en las áreas incorporadas del condado de Fontana, Bloomington, Rialto, San Antonio Heights, Mount Baldy, las comunidades de Rosanna Ranch y Lytle Creek. En el año 2021, el supervisor Vaca destinó fondos para 2 agentes destinados a servir a la comunidad de Bloomington. Los agentes son mi compañero García Pérez y Deputy Arroyo, que soy yo, asignados en Bloomington.
In 2021, we were blessed to have Supervisor Baca's office generously provide us 2 deputies specifically allocated for the Bloomington area. Deputy Arroyo and Deputy Garcia Perez are both the 2 deputies that are assigned to this community. And having those 2 dedicated deputies for this area has provided us a lot of consistency and ability to provide deputies a stable assignment here that help us identify and correct certain issues that happen. Next slide, please. Okay, perfect. Actually, if you could go back. Yeah, perfect, thanks. The funding of the 2 deputies specifically for Bloomington has provided us consistency and has allowed us to focus on specific areas.
Con los 2 agentes de Bloomington hemos tenido la oportunidad de responder más rápido a llamadas de servicio y estar con la comunidad un poco más.
It has improved our response times for calls for service and reduced them to 63% compared to before when we had the 2 dedicated deputies. So it has made a tremendous difference in our response times. The Bloomington deputies, as well as additional deputies from the station patrolling the Bloomington area, have also been responsible for many proactive contacts within the community. In 2024 specifically, they conducted over 1,000 traffic stops, over 700 pedestrian checks, over 300 vehicle checks, and conducted nearly 400 extra patrols of areas including parks and high crime areas.
Mencioné anteriormente, respondiendo más rápido a llamadas de servicio que ustedes están llamando, del año comparado al año 2021 a comparación a 2024, ha reducido las llamadas por 63% más rápido. También han tenido la oportunidad de ser policía proactiva, tenemos más oportunidad de hacer más contactos con gente que no sospechosa, vehículos sospechosos. En 2024 tenemos paradas de tráfico, 1,223, paradas de peatones, 725, inspecciones de vehículos, 327, y luego adicionales contactos, 397.
Additional benefits of the patrol deputies in Bloomington were engaging in many community events such as National Night Out, school visits, obviously attending the Bloomington MAC meetings like tonight, collaboration with code enforcement and our fire department partners, specifically targeting illegal dumping, which were talked about earlier, vendor sweeps, collaborating with our homeless outreach teams to address some of the transient issues in Bloomington, and also contacting local businesses to address any safety concerns they may have.
También da la oportunidad del Bloomington Deputy de hacer compromisos con la comunidad. Unos de esos son saliendo a eventos de la comunidad, National Night Out, visitando escuelas, varios eventos que estaban presentados, atender esas juntas de la MAC y luego trabajar con Code Enforcement, el departamento de la lumbre, Fire Department, con el Hope Team, que se trata mayoría del tiempo ayudar a la gente sin hogar.
Next slide, please. So this particular slide goes over our calls for service for 2024. We had nearly 14,000 calls for service, and we're going to primarily focus on two types of calls. Go ahead.
So, hoy, para las llamadas de servicio del 2024, vamos a concentrarnos a dos tipos de llamadas.
So priority e-calls are our highest priority calls, and they're defined as calls where significant injury has occurred or they have the potential to occur. In 2024, we had approximately 93 priority e-calls in Bloomington, 60% of which occurred on Graveyard. The most common priority e-calls for 2024 were assault with a deadly weapon, robbery calls, and man-gun calls.
La primera llamada que vamos a discutir es prioridad E. Esas son llamadas en las que ha ocurrido una lesión. Tenemos un 97 en total en el año 2024. 60% ocurrieron en el turno de la noche y las más llamadas que hemos tenido fue asalto a arma mortal 28, robo 23 y armas de fuego 11.
The next priority calls that we're going to discuss are priority 1 calls. These are in progress calls where the suspect is likely still in the area. There were nearly 4,000 priority 1 calls in Bloomington in 2024. 28% of those 14,000 calls were priority 1 calls, and 50% of those occurred on Graveyard.
La siguiente llamada es prioridad 1. Esas son llamadas que curso o cuando los proveedores probablemente aún están en la área inmediata. De las 3,865 total, 28% de las llamadas de servicio, 50 de las llamadas de prioridad 1 ocurrieron en el turno de la noche.
Before we transition to the next slide, one thing I do want to elaborate on is a lot of us use community crime mapping applications on our phone, or we refer to the internet for community crime statistics. It's important for us to realize that there is a difference between what is initially reported and what that crime ends up being, if at all, a crime. Take, for instance, sometimes community crime mapping will show a call came in as a shots fired call. The deputies go there and it turns out being fireworks. So keep that in mind when we talk about some of those calls. Also, sometimes a robbery call will come out, and when deputies show up there, it turns out being a shoplifting call. So take that with a bit of a grain of salt, and the next slide will get a little bit more into the details.
No, para que tengan un poquito más de información, cuando hay llamadas recibidas en el lado de nosotros, no siempre van a ser lo que es la llamada. Por ejemplo, si alguien dice que hay balazos o alguien está en peligro, puede ser que son unos cohetes. So, a veces ves cosas en las noticias que dicen que crime statting que son diferentes, pero en realidad tenemos nosotros nuestros números para que tengan más pendiente de eso, porque no siempre lo que dice la gente es lo que pasó.
Not all calls that we get end up ending in reports. However, this particular slide does break down how many of those we did end up taking criminal reports on, which we had roughly about 1,500 reports that we took in Bloomington alone during 2024. This slide has got a breakdown of the most common occurrences down to the least common occurrences.
Gráfica de los reportes que hemos tomado en el 2024 son cosas que han ocurrido más frecuente a lo más bajo.
When looking at this data, one important thing to remember also too is this is capturing what that initial main crime was, and if there were multiple crimes that occurred, it is not capturing that data.
Esta gráfica está limitada, como a veces hay cosas que están reportadas 2 veces, nomás que los números no los dejan hacer eso.
In 2024, the most common report that we took was a non-criminal activity, which was nearly 18% or 261 incidents. This is basically documenting any incident that didn't rise to the level of a crime, but we felt it was worthy enough to document. Or it could be certain incidents that are, say, mental health related, where we do take documentation, we refer those to various different county agencies that help us out, like behavioral health.
Llamadas de 2024, un 17.8% son no criminales. Esas llamadas son las que ocupan un reporte al amor para más ayuda, como problemas mentales, que los podemos referir a un especialista.
The next highest category was theft. We combined several different theft codes just to make it into one particular category. We also did that with the drug offenses because there are so many different crimes. It would be a pretty big chart, but theft is definitely one of the most often taken reports. But we broke vehicle theft separate because, unfortunately, one of the big issues that has occurred in Bloomington for many, many years has been vehicle theft. So we did have those separated.
Siguiente más alto es robo, de 15%. Está separado a robo de auto. Nomás porque es mejor que esté separado así. 8% por auto.
Assaults and other violent crimes consisted of 14% or 207 incidents. Warrant arrests were 13% or 198 incidents, followed by auto theft, which I just mentioned.
Va a ser asalto a 14%, es algo violento. El siguiente va a ser como una warrant, es una orden del juzgado que tienes que ir atrás a la cárcel, es 13.5%.
Vandalism and fraud fall into the lesser offenses category. Recovered vehicles, missing persons, and disorderly conduct are rated as low incidents. And the rarest cases in Bloomington were sex crimes, which were roughly 1% of all of the reports that were taken, or 14 incidents overall. Robberies, which were less than 0.5%, a total of 5 incidents, and there were 3 murders in 2024, which were less than 0.25% of the reports.
Las siguientes en la lista que son más bajo ocurrencias es vandalismo, 3.3%, fraude, la misma porcentaje, gente desaparecida, 2.3%, y crímenes de sexo son 1%. Como las cosas más raras que han pasado en los números de reportes son delitos sexuales, somos 14 reportes, robo 5, asesinato 3, robo de auto a mano armada 2.
So in conclusion, we would like to thank the Bloomington MAC for their continued support, as well as Supervisor Baca's office, and obviously the community for their support. At this time, we welcome any questions from the council and then anyone else from the public.
I do.
Yes, ma'am.
First off, so on the calls for service, if you look down at the very bottom, it mostly predominantly assigned during the day. Is there any talk about switching the hours to cover more of those crimes that are happening for?
And that's a good question, and I do want to elaborate on the staffing because that's come up in other meetings that we've had. So in 2021, Supervisor Baca's office, as we mentioned, provided those 2 additional deputies. Those 2 additional deputies are a bit different than our regular patrol deputies. We have a patrol deputy that is assigned to this area to handle calls for service, in addition to the 2 that are dedicated from Supervisor Baca's office. Those two from Supervisor Baca's office have a specific role that's more community-based, and it allows us to have that consistency of someone that's assigned here in comparison to patrol, where we're having every day it can be a different deputy, as well as those deputies are subject to call if there's another call that is happening, let's say in Fontana or Lido Creek, that's a high priority, then we're going to defer a lot of those resources to that area. So with that being said, for the community deputies, for those purposes that I mentioned earlier, for it to be related to contacts within the community, attending events at schools, as well as reaching out to businesses and attacking some of those problems that are really a majority of the time occurring during those hours. It is the most appropriate staffing for them. However, with that being said, as we've talked about in other meetings, Bloomington comprises a majority of our calls for service, as well as our reports and our time in terms of proactivity. It would definitely benefit the community if we could have 2 additional deputies, because those 2 additional deputies would be similar to the ones that we have during the daytime for Bloomington, but they would be during the evenings and the late graveyard hours. And they're going to be more accustomed, say, for instance, the issues that we're having at Kessler Park. And, you know, with some of the vandalism and the break-ins, they're going to be more familiar with some of those issues rather than one of the other 35 deputies that we have that are also familiar with Fontana, Lytle Creek, San Antonio Heights, and everything of that nature. To answer your question, we definitely could use additional deputies on Graveyard to help with some of those calls for service. As I mentioned, we do have the 1 deputy that's a normal beat deputy for this area. Different between the community deputy.
This, I actually did not know that, so that's good to know.
Yeah.
I appreciate you elaborating on that. My other question is, so you stated that that doesn't have where there's multiple crimes. So when there is multiple crimes committed, how do you differentiate which one is selected for that? Is it?
There's a control. Basically, when the deputy is on scene, let's say they show up and it's a robbery plus, you know, the subject had drugs on them and the subject had maybe a knife, all right, that was concealed on their person. They're going to go with the controlling charge for their report, and then the other ones are going to be additional charges. So the way that our report systems are comprised, it doesn't allow us to currently, now this is going to change in the future, but our current system is set up to where it records that 1 charge for our CAD, which is our computer-aided dispatch. It controls that to put that 1 charge with that incident. The criminal report will have those additional charges that were pending in there, but for statistical purposes, it doesn't necessarily break them down like what we have here. This is just the main controlling charge for that incident. So the example I used with the robbery and the drug charges, it's going to be the robbery is the statistical part of it, and then the drugs doesn't necessarily take that into account.
Okay.
We are transitioning to a new report writing system, which we're hoping is going to be in approximately about 4 months. It's going to have greater capabilities for us to pull a lot of the statistics and decipher a lot of that data and interpret crime trends, so we can have some staffing that can help us combat a little bit of that.
Okay, my last question.
Yes.
So we're gonna have this meet and greet, and they were saying that this is like kind of their little hub now at Bloomington Grove, correct?
What it is there is a satellite office that's available to us at the Grove, and that's going to help us with many different things. That's going to help us with maintaining a deputy more in the field in a centralized area. Obviously, we battle a lot with the transition between north and south with the freeway. I think all of us have been stuck in that traffic. But with that, that's going to give them an area where periodically, they're not going to be stationed there all the time.
Okay. That's what I was
But
gonna ask.
periodically, when they need to stop in and do a report, or if they need to use a restroom, or if they need to meet a victim that is a little bit more apt to meet them off, away from their house, we're going to be using that as an
Okay.
additional location. But there's not going to be a deputy there 24 hours out of the day.
That's what my question
Yep.
was gearing towards. Okay.
It's going to be more subject to call and subject to availability. When Supervisor Baca's office actually brought that location to our attention, there's a new company that took over that area for the management side of it, and we've been collaborating with them a lot because there are some at-risk folks that do live there. There's a senior community that lives there. We do get a lot of calls for service there. So having a good presence there, a uniformed presence, we're hoping it's going to also be a crime deterrent.
Well, that is good because I visited that property recently where, not the senior portion, but the low income housing portion. And there's, because somebody had told me there's a lot of crime that goes on there, but it needs a lot of cleanup too.
Yeah, the good thing is, and for those of you that'll go to the open house, you'll see that the company that's now managing it, not talking anything negatively about the previous company, but I can tell you they're very their presence is ensuring that is a good community area for everyone, regardless of who you are, to be. We have had some crime issues there traditionally since it's opened. And there's a lot of people from all different walks of life, but having a good partner there will definitely help us. And obviously the support of Supervisor Baca's office has definitely helped us with that.
Okay. Well, that's all my questions. I wanted to say thank you for the presentation. It was fantastic. Thank you so much for translating. It's very much appreciated that you guys arranged for that. So thank you really for that.
Yeah, we'll try to do that as much as possible. Is there any questions from the community or? Yes, ma'am.
There's a new program that you guys work with Fontana PD, and it's to help your officers to identify individuals that are like autistic, that struggle to communicate with you.
Yes.
And I understand that Fontana has a kit that the person can wear or put on a seatbelt.
Correct.
Will you guys eventually be?
We have that. So the program that is being mentioned is a blue envelope program. And if you stop in at the Fontana station, as I mentioned earlier, it's right at the corner of Arrow and Alder. It's behind the courthouse. We have the envelopes. We have quite a large stack there. We provide those free to the community. There's a lot of different things in there. You mentioned one of them, which where you can put it onto the seatbelt. You can also, there's a wristband, and then there's also a card that you can put with your registration. So if you're pulled over, it allows us to quickly identify some of those folks that may have any particular issue that can help us provide some assistance to them. Say, for instance, one of the examples is if somebody has severe autism, right? Or somebody is diabetic. Sometimes during calls for service, we may come in contact with somebody that is having low blood sugar, right? Insulin shock. And that can appear as if they're under the influence or they're drunk, or whatever it may be. And by seeing that wristband or seeing that question.
I have two questions. One, months ago, there was some operation where law enforcement and policing.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So what that young man is mentioning is operations consequences. So operation consequences, for those of you that don't know, the Board of Supervisors collectively had allocated some funding for proactive contacts in the field. And those were basically dubbed operations consequences. And they rotate from community to community. We had ours in January 15th. And it was specifically targeting our Bloomington area because at that time, there were an uptick in gang incidents. Some of them affected the park. And others were drug sales, others were pursuits, deputy assaults. And so when we, through the support of Supervisor Baca's office, we designated that in January. Some of the statistics that we had during that day were, we had over 100 different officers from various different agencies throughout San Bernardino County attend. There were 940 traffic stops made. There were 340 traffic cites, 20 vehicles towed. There was 47 pedestrian checks. There was 24 misdemeanor arrests, 22 felony arrests. There were 11 gang members documented. There were 2 handguns that were recovered, 2 ghost guns. There was a pursuit. And one of the biggest successes that came from that entire operation was the arrest of a subject named Nathaniel Flores. Nathaniel Flores was pretty renowned with bringing Westside Bloomington gang activity back. Proceeded to influence a lot of the high school into becoming gang members with Westside Bloomington. He would jump them in at the park, and we were fortunate that we were able to serve a search warrant at his house, which was not here. And he is now in custody. There was 2 ghost guns, as well as a lot of gang apparel that was at his house. And so he is still in custody to this day. So we're hoping that that's going to deter a lot of the gang activity. However, it still persists because it's not going to get solved overnight. That's where we really need the community to step in, call us when they see something, and so we can take appropriate action. Any other questions? What's that?
Should we expect any more in the future?
Operations consequences? It varies. The year prior, we did one here, and as I mentioned, it is spread amongst all San Bernardino County agencies. So there's times where it could be in Rialto, it could be in Fontana PD's jurisdiction, could be in Victorville, Hesperia, wherever it may be. So a lot of times it depends on the priority. So, but we're always advocating for those resources to be committed to this area specifically, to be good crime deterrents and hold those accountable that need to be held accountable. Cool. Send it. So that are incorporated into this and with me, no. However, we do break down north and south into different reporting districts, and we do have that information. The crimes are somewhat different between the 2 different jurisdictions. Down here, we see a little bit more assaults. Up north, we see a little bit more theft. But that's not to say that those on any given day, they can't change up a little bit. But yeah, to answer your question, yes. And if you're ever interested in what that breakdown is, I'll give you a business card. You can reach out to me at a later date and I can give that to you. Thank you.
Questions, Joaquin? Thank you. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Thank you
sir.
very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you for the translation.
Thank you, Louis.
Thank you. So the next item on our agenda is the approval of the minutes. Now, how can we do that? Thank you. Last meeting, there were 3, so we can't approve them? Okay, I wasn't here, so we only have 2 people? Yeah, so how are we going to be able to do that? Exactly, okay. Thank you. So we are going to have to skip the minutes, approval of the minutes this time. We'll find out next time if we're able to do it or not. Public comment. We have a few sections here for public comment. Did you want to do that? Teresa, or do you want to finish it up? What do you want to do?
Go ahead.
Okay, David Milinarski. So 3 minutes, and we have the ladies over here who are going to be timing everybody.
Good evening. Good to see you all again, and congratulations.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your plaque. You know, I was here, as you know, a few times before presenting some projects in front of you, and I just wanted to give you an update on the Cedar Village plaza on the corner of Cedar and San Bernardino Avenue. That's the retail project that we presented. And it was named, actually, Supervisor Baca's office reached out to the community, and a local Girl Scout troop selected the name for the plaza, and the developer agreed to name the plaza that in remembrance or in honor of the heritage of the Cedar name throughout the Bloomington community in that area of the city. So some of you already told me they broke ground on the project. It's being graded right now, and construction is going to take several months, so it probably won't be until the end of the year. But again, there'll be a new C-store there with a car wash and gas station, but then a 2-story office building that'll have certain tenants. And then there's a restaurant that hasn't been announced yet, but that'll also be on the site. And new public improvements, street lights, fire hydrants, as you mentioned, the ones that when you hit them, they break off. So yeah, it's great. It's great to introduce that project. The developer's really excited, and we're going to be doing some more activity as they get closer to the actual ribbon cutting and interfacing with the city of Rialto, with Rialto PD. A couple of you have mentioned some issues along that roadway that will certainly pass along. And as I also mentioned, we're getting ready to submit the sign package to the county for review and approval. So the comments that you provided earlier, we'll definitely take those into account, and I'll circle back with you on any changes or additions. But just again, want to thank the MAC for the support you gave the project, and for the supervisor's support also. He was very instrumental in making sure that project got approved, and just wanted to give you that update. Have a great night.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Next, we have Dave Jane.
One, 1,000, two, 1,000. I'm just kidding.
Well, when you're old, you're sitting that low, can't you do it? Come on. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Hey, I want to definitely thank the parks. We had a break-in down at Bloomington Kessler Park the other night. They took all the electrical out of my horse arena around the building. It's going to cost a lot of some money to repair, but if you see something, please report it. Please call the sheriffs so they can get out there, because they do the best job they can, but the paving and stuff around there. But somebody's there a long time. They got underneath the snack bar and broke all the stuff up underneath there, and it's terrible. And we need parks. Somebody needs to get hold of the parks and make sure that they get it cleaned up for our ride on the 12th of April. We're having a little Easter egg hunt over there. I do not think we're going to get any horseback people, because the Rangers are with the sheriff on some kind of function, and the Cowgirls are being state Western people. I don't know what's going on with them either, but it's always the 1st of April, the 12th. We'd love to have you come out. We got a lot of special needs kids that's going to be doing Easter egg hunt. And on the 31st, I invite you down to the Kessler Park. We're going to do a cleanup. It's on a Monday. Come on down and help us clean up some of the stuff around there. And we'll get a hold of an electrician and have him do the other stuff. But we have to have an electrician done. If it's not done, we're going to have some porta potties, because our system in our building is electrical. So it's a lot of work, and it's terrible because I don't know, it's just bad. The last 10 days, they've had a report out of there. Guys, and it's not, I don't know what it is. I really don't. We can't figure it out, but we need, okay. I'll give you 1 minute. I'll give you about 2 seconds of it. No, really, that's what we need to do. But if you see something, call us. Let us know, because these guys can't see it all. Especially when they're driving around there from place to place. If you see it, call us in, please. Thank you.
Very good.
April 12th.
Thank you. And the cleanup's on March 31st? Monday, March 31st. Okay. April 31st. Oh, no, the cleanup
Okay, 31st.
of March.
March.
Okay, thank you.
We're gonna start about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. I mean, they're dumping all the bark off the trees and stuff down there again, and it's messy and it's dumping.
Thank you. Joaquin?
Good evening. My name is Joaquin Castillejos. Long time. I grew up in Bloomington, but today I'm here representing CCAJ, and I'm happy to be back to the meetings. I know we started a little late. I had a couple questions first. I noticed that there's only 4 members on the MAC right now. Is there any? Are there still open seats for folks to apply? Is that? And if so, like if we could get like the link to the application, because it was a little bit hard to find, and I know some folks who wanted to apply. And then lastly, I just wanted to once again, just state the mission of CCAJ. It's kind of similar to what the mission of the MAC is to engage the community and to bring the community together to solve problems, create solutions, and set a course for the future of Bloomington. That's also CCAJ's mission, to bring the community together and to strive for a future for Bloomington with clean air, more equitable land use. And something that we're doing right now is we started an air monitoring program in South Bloomington and in South Fontana, where we were able to get funding for 45 air monitors to distribute across Bloomington and South Fontana, and start a year-long monitoring program where we're able to get the data on, what really is really does our air quality look like, in these areas. I think that's like a concern for a lot of folks with all the new truck traffic and all the new developments that we've had, and also the data that we've seen before, just how bad our air quality is. And it will also help us, to advocate for new policies or regulations to make sure that if we do really have the bad air quality that we talk about, we need to do something to clean it up. We still have around 15 air monitors left for Bloomington. So if you know anyone in a part of Bloomington that would like to have an air monitor in their home, it's an inside monitor that will tell you your indoor air quality and also outside. The outside one is the one where we'll be collecting the data from that will be put into the report. The inside one is just for yourself, and you also keep the air monitor after the program is done. So it's a great way, to also be in control of the data. And something that we believe in is that we don't need like a researcher from the outside or anyone to come tell us like what our community is like. We could have control of that and be our own experts and scientists. And then lastly, apart from that air monitoring program, we have something else coming up with a group, another nonprofit called Aclima that is specializes in air monitoring, but they have a mobile air monitoring system. And they're starting to put together an air monitoring plan for Bloomington and South Fontana. And that's something that we're going to soon have meetings about to get folks' concerns together and put together a plan for what air monitoring could look like in these communities. Thank you.
And Joaquin, are those air monitors that you said are available? You said it goes inside the house?
It's a small indoor one. It's like a plug-in, and then the outdoor one goes, somewhere around the home.
Does the outdoor one need to be plugged in, or is it just?
It depends if electricity is available, or if not, they have solar panel options. No, it's completely free, and
There's no cameras on it, right?
No cameras, no, nothing like that. And you also keep the air monitor after the program is done. You get to keep it free of cost.
What is the deal? Does the resident have to do anything?
So, I mean, as You'll be basically part of the process. We have monthly meetings where we'll give you updates on how the program is going. We're also going to offer like different workshops on how to like how to share that with your neighbors, and just we always have our community meetings apart from that too. So you're invited to join us for those community meetings.
So do you have to submit numbers to you monthly?
No.
Do anything like that?
No, the air monitor.
Their house every month, or-
No, nothing like that, unless there's like the air monitor is not working or something like that. But the air monitor is going to be connected to the Wi-Fi of the home, so it'll be sending that data directly to our database where we'll be collecting that for that year. And once that year is over, we'll be done with the capture of the data, and we'll put out that report along with the community. It's going to be like a collective effort to put out that report of our air quality in Bloomington.
Are they on the north side, south side, both sides?
Both sides, north and south. Yeah.
Are we targeting anywhere like around schools?
Yeah, we're trying to get like a good radius, because if you put an air quality monitor in one home, it kind of gathers like what that maybe like a half-mile radius looks like. So we're trying to get a little bit separate, but around schools is the best scenario that we could have to, because not only will we see what the residential area look like, but also what the school areas look like, and that's really important data. I think something that as an environmental justice organization, we really want to see clean air next to our schools.
Of course, definitely.
Provide like ideal areas you're looking to put monitors,
Mhm.
so we can maybe reach out to people who are like, hey, you live in this area, I know someone, that way we know exactly where you're trying to put them,
Okay, yeah. And if you're interested to, you can reach out, and if that's like a good area, we'll for sure sign you up. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ulysses, he already shared. He's gone. Okay, so public comments done, is closed now. Do we have any discussion items we want to finish within the next 8 minutes if possible? Because it's really pouring out there. So any discussion items, old business or new business? No. Community events, we talked about, or you want to talk about the Little League?
We're gonna have opening day next Friday at 6
Mike?
Opening day next Friday at 6 p.m. at Kessler Park. We're also going to have our annual pancake breakfast the next morning, Saturday morning at 7 a.m. $5 ticket, buys you all you can eat pancakes and sausage, and orange juice. Coffee's a separate purchase, and hot chocolate, but everything else is $5. So it's pretty good. Good time to come out with your community too and talk and see all the little kids getting ready for their first game. So we
Community events for 5th District, we're good? Okay. MAC member reports. I'll start out. I just want to thank everybody again for coming out. Thank you for the support. Thank you for, this was really nice, the gavel. That was a really nice gesture. I appreciate it. And Supervisor Baca's office just has been amazing throughout the whole issues with my dad and my family and things like that. So they really look out for our community. So we appreciate that so much. Any other MAC member reports?
Again, thank you guys for taking the time, especially down in the rain. We appreciate it. We appreciate all the agencies that came down tonight and gave their wonderful reports and presentations for the translation. For those who are committed to always coming here month after month, thank you guys. Drive safe.
I want to say thank you for everyone that came out. And like Teresa said, in the rain, we appreciate all of you. The sheriffs, everyone, thank you.
So,
And drive safe.
I now motion to adjourn the meeting. Okay, we are closing the meeting at 7:54. Thank you.